Hello and welcome learners on my YouTube channel. Here on this YouTube channel we learn about the different management concepts and our easiest way. Now let's start our today's video. This video is about the bullwhip effect, which is a very important concept under the supply chain. Uh, I have divided the bullwhip effect videos in three parts, where we will discuss thoroughly about this topic. So let's start today's video. Bullwhip effect occurs when a manufacturer doesn't have the right information about the actual demand of customer, and it's mainly because of lacking in coordination in among different parts of a supply chain, from retailers to wholesaler to manufacturer. And as for an efficient supply chain is a necessity to running a successful business, and the bullwhip effect can be a serious threat for a business. According to definition, the Bullwhip effect defined as a demand distortion that travels upstream the supply chain from the retailer through to wholesaler and manufacturer to the variance of order which may be larger than that of sales. So it is a definition and it is seeming a little bit boring. So I will explain you by an example. Let's take a example of ice cream sale in the summer season. So there is a ice cream seller who sells around 25 ice creams every day, but as temperature rises then people start buying ice creams more than before. So now he's selling ice cream around 40 ice cream every day. So let's ice cream seller thinks now he is able to selling 40 ice cream on per day. So for a buffer stock, if any day he thinks if he will have a 50 ice cream, so maybe he can also sell those 50 ice creams. But here is the actual demand is 40 ice cream, but for the buffer stock he goes to the wholesaler and creates an order of 50 ice cream. So actual demand is 40, but he creates the order of 50 to wholesaler. Now wholesaler gets the also get a spike in order. Now here is the thing comes in the wholesaler's mind, he can also create, as is the it is a summer season, and he can also create a higher order to the manufacturer. Rather than 50 he creates an order of 60. Now manufacturer thinks that now he's getting the higher order than before, and if he will create a stock of 80, might be he can sell all of them as now there is an increase in demand. So manufacturer place the order of higher raw material to supplier and he creates the 80 ice cream. But what happens because of which? Then there is the actual sales is only 40. What customer wants up. So now what happens here? So there is the 20 surplus. We'll show you a change. Erase all of this and let's change the. Oh, so here is 40 actual, 50 retailer placed, 60 wholesaler, and 80 what manufacturer manufactured. Okay, so now here is 10, here is also 10, and here is also 20. So I am saying that now manufacturer will have 20 ice creams in their stocks, wholesaler will have 10 ice creams in their stock, and retailer will also have 10 ice cream in their stock. So what happens here? Here retailer did not make the order according to the what was the actual demand, but he forecast about the demand, and a wholesaler also adds some ice creams in that, and then manufacturer also perceived more about that. So there is a huge difference. Here is the difference from 40 to 80. It's just double, but so there will be the more supply and then there will be the more stock in the inventory, and it will causes a loss or the whole part of supply chain. As in the definition, it goes from the upstream from retailers to manufacturer to the whole to the variance of order which may be larger than that of sales. So variance of order, so here is the variance in order you can see, and the which may be larger, and what was the actual sale 40, and all of this was larger than that of sales. So we have easily understood what was in the definition. Now let's go. Now we will see what is in the next slide. Oh, so here I am explaining you that it is a whip, and so this end is explaining the actual demand, or here what is the manufacturer side. So as here is retailer, wholesaler, and all of the part of supply chain, and there is spike, and it occurs because the demand for good is not based on the actual consumer demand, but it based on the what is demand forecast. So companies, wholesaler all forecast about the demand, and there is the supply is more than the actual demand, so it causes a loss to companies. And in this visual presentation you can easily understand that here's the customer, he creates order of this level, and retailers thinks this, distributor and the manufacturer here consumer demand was 10 unit, but retailers noted it 15, then distributor order to the manufacturer to avail bulk discount and maintain enough stock 20 units, and then manufacturer order material for 40 unit to bring down manufacturing cost. And then here is a huge difference from the actual demand and what is the manufacturer is manufacturing then, and all of this will cause loss in the supply chain. In this slide I am explaining you what is the difference from consumer demand to the manufacturer order. These are the consumer demand, and then it is the retailer's order to wholesaler, then there is a rise in the wholesaler order to manufacturer, and what is the manufacturer's order to the suppliers for raw material, then there is a hike from this level to this level, and it causes a loss in supply chain because there will be a buffer stock, and they will have to keep the inventory, and it will create the losses, and the performance also reduce. And then what are the effect of this phenomenon on the performance of supply chain? Supply chain lacks coordination if each stage optimizes only its local objective. So as I have given you the example of ice cream, so each level was only wanting to create more profit, as retailer ice cream seller wants to sell more ice cream, and wholesaler also wants to sell more ice cream, and if he will create the order in bulk then he will get the discount. So they were all focusing on their local objective, and because of this there is a lack in coordination, and then performance of supply chain downs. It reduced the total profit because then there will be a buffer stock, and there will be higher supply than the demand, and they will not be able to sell this buffer stock in market. And these performance index included their manufacturing cost, their inventory cost, replacement lead time, transportation cost, labor cost, level of product availability, relationship across the supply chain. And next slide I will explain you what happens all of the because of bullwhip effect. Manufacturing cost increases because manufacturer pays higher order to the supplier for raw material, and they manufacture more than the actual demand. As in the our example, there was the demand of ice cream was only 40, but manufacturer was producing 80 ice cream, so just double. And if a company is producing double than the actual demand, then it is obvious that it will increase their manufacturing cost. They will have to keep their raw material in their inventory, and after this the buffer stock and the stock which is more than the actual demand, it will also go to the inventory, so it will increase their inventory holding cost. Replacement lead time. Replacement lead time is when manufacturer provides the goods to the wholesaler, or wholesaler provides the goods to the retailer. Replacement replacement is a simple word, like retailer makes an order to the wholesaler, and then they provide the goods to the retailer. And when there is a retailer is placing the higher order to the wholesaler, then it will take more time to wholesaler to fulfill their order. As wholesaler is placing a higher order to manufacturer, then it will also create time for manufacturer to producing more and then providing to the wholesaler. And it is obvious that when they will have to transport more goods as more ice cream, then it will increase their transportation cost also, and shipping and receiving cost, it is definitely increase. It is obvious then shipping and receiving cost will also increase, because there is the order is more than the actual demand on previous order, so it will take time, and it will also increase the transportation cost, shipping and receiving cost. And in the case of product availability and profitability, as profitability will decrease because they will produce more, they will stock more, but they will not able to sell all of them, because there is not a actual demand what they are perceiving or what they are forecasting. And in the product level availability, then it will decrease, because as manufacturer will take more time to produce them. So all these were the performance measure, and what are the impact of the lack of coordination in supply chain because of it. Okay, thank you for being with us, and in the next video I will explain you more about the bullwhip effect.